Let me tell you something. This man right here, this man is an absolute unit. Yo, welcome back to episode 8 of An Absolute Unit podcast. I'm your host with the most, Travis Hudson. I'm back. I took a little more than a week off because I've been working on finals for this term of college, and they were rough. They were rough for sure. I had my last one due last night at midnight. Didn't finish it, but that's the game, baby. It was rough, dude. This was the first time that finals have been like absolutely atrocious for me. I'm not even gonna lie. But yeah, I'm back. School's rough, but it's over now. I have almost 2 weeks off of school now, which is gonna be nice because I feel like I've been doing school almost every day for like the past 2 months, so it'll be nice. Dude, one class that I took this term was I took a biology class, Biology 101, and taking that during a pandemic is really interesting because, we were talking about bacteria and viruses and all that kind of stuff, and, at one point my professor goes on a little bit of a rant that's talking about how we won't necessarily be able to eradicate COVID-19. We'll just be able to suppress it enough to where it's lesser than like the flu. It's kind of what he compared it to, which like I don't want to get into comparing COVID to the flu because that's a whole nother topic. But taking biology during pandemic gave me an interesting perspective on things. Really interesting. Oh man, I just started uploading these onto YouTube, just the audio. I still don't have any kind of recording of myself, no face cam or webcam or anything like that. But I got kind of excited because I got a notification on my phone that I got a comment on one of my YouTube videos, and I was gonna go look at it and read it, but when I clicked on the notification it went away and it just took me to the video and no comment is there, and there's only one view and it's from me, so that's cool. I have one view and it's myself. That's it's like when you post something on Instagram or Facebook and you like it right away and you're the only like on it. Like, you can't do that. You gotta wait until there's like 9 or 10 likes. Whenever it stops listing however many people liked it, then you like it. You boost the numbers a little bit, boost it up a little bit. But yeah, other than the stress of the finals, life's been pretty good recently. I've been hanging out with a lot more people over Discord, which I wish I was doing more. The whole time we've been kind of isolated because I'm having a lot of fun with it. A lot of fun hanging out, playing games, or just talking, just listening to music. It's all fun. I'm having a lot of fun doing that recently. I recommend it for anybody who's somewhat lonely. You don't even have to be lonely. You could just be a fun guy. You could be a mushroom and just, hang out and leech off people. A lot of biology jokes. God, I took like a 2-hour biology test a couple days ago. One of the worst experiences of my life. And I still have to take another biology class. Why? For what reason? College is a scam. I just want to show up, take my major classes, maybe a couple electives. My electives have been fun. I've been taking music classes for my electives, but I don't like all the busy work you have to do in college still. It's insane, dude. My English class this term, once a week, I'd have to read something and do a discussion, talk to other kids in the class. I'm like, I don't want to do that. It's trash. I mean, I got to read some good books, and they gave them to me for free, so I guess that's not bad. But I don't know if those books really equate to the cost of the class that I paid for, so college is still a scam. Big time scam. Hopefully it's still worth it in the end, because I'm doing it. I'm grinding, but jeez. I might try to have a guest on, or a couple guests on, within the next couple episodes. I was trying to go like 10 episodes solid of just me, but I don't know. It might line up better time-wise for me to have somebody on next week during spring break. It'd be easier for me to plan. So maybe expect that. Maybe don't. Maybe I'm getting your hopes up for nothing, or you're really let down by that because you just want to hear me. You don't want to hear nobody else. And to you, I love you the most. You're the best. Don't ever tell nobody about this, but somebody told me that I should stop doing kissing noises, but no, I'll kiss anybody. 18 plus. All my homies get kisses. I mean, I do still have to go to work next week, which is kind of awful. Dude, I was working with one of my work homies, work BFFs, and it was late at night, so the store was closed, right? And it was just like 3 of us there because we were hard closing and like doing some, we call it recovery there. That's why we just like make things look nice. We do a lot of driving, like forklift driving inside that we can't do during the day because there are dirty custies all over the place. But he was driving and he picks up this pallet off the top shelf, which is probably like, I don't know, 3 stories up, however many feet that is, like 60 feet up, and the pallet breaks. Pallet snaps and like half the pallet comes falling down. There's huge bags of mulch, right? Because I told you I worked in the garden section before. Huge, probably 40-pound bags of mulch come tumbling down, and yeah, it's terrifying. I was outside the building, so I just heard it, and like I heard some snaps, some loud like thuds, heard some metal clangs, and I was like, what is going on in there? And I come inside and I see I see all the bags all over the place, and he starts talking to me about how terrifying it is, because that is. I knocked a couple like cinder block kind of blocks out of the air once. It was only 2 of them, but they came crashing down hard. I was like, that is scary to think about. That could just happen. Especially some of the block that we sell is really small, and it's not really interlocked well in the pallet, so it's wobbly. So you move a little too quick, and like hundreds of little bricks are falling out of the sky. Terrifying. I mean, at least we have to take certain safety precautions to ensure that nobody gets dead doing this, because it's just a retail job. Nobody should think they could die at any point doing a retail job. Not worth it. Never not once has it been worth it. But yeah, he's saying all the bags fell out of the sky, and his life flashed before his eyes, because he's like getting out of the forklift, running under the covered area, and just waiting for it to calm down. But like, he's still got to deal with it, because it's in the sky and it's broken. You can't put it back, because it's maybe more deadly at that point. He said his whole life flashed before his eyes, though. Not just the past. In the future, he saw what could be. Saw a son. Saw a little kid running around. He saw a happy life, happy family. He moved out. He moved out of here, not working at Home Depot anymore, doing his dream job. And in seconds, it was gone. It was out of his grasp. 40-pound bag of dirt falling out of the sky, coming for him. Oh yeah, and then I walk over, I help him start cleaning up the bags, and I bend down to pick one up, and like I pick it up, I stand up, and at that second, one goes boom, hits the ground, like 2 feet away from me, I'd say. And that shook me up, dude. Heart was racing. I only saw the past. I didn't get to see the future when my life left before my eyes. But I also don't dream, so unimaginative. It was terrifying, dude. That was the only real experience I've had that there, which is kind of weird, because I've been there for a year and a half. I feel like I should have more crazy stories, but most of my stories are just like my coworkers being dog shit at their job. They're awful, dude. It's a retail job. It's so easy, dog. Oh my god, it makes me upset, because I'm in a weird boat. I bet other people have been like this, where like, I don't care about that job. Like, I don't know. I'm not putting 100%, 110% of my effort in every day, but like, I'm going to do my job, and I'm going to do it well, mainly because it's easy, and like, because I'm getting paid to do it, so I'm going to do it. Stereotypical, but I'm not getting paid to stand around, so I'm going to do it. I'm going to try my best at it, just because that's who I am. I don't know. Maybe that's weird, especially considering how much I hate capitalism. It is weird. I should just show up, get my money and dip, get my bag and dip, but I don't. I care too much. I've cared too much since I started working. But I guess that's just who I am. I've always been a really good worker, though. Even when I was 16, bagging groceries and pushing carts. That's way easier than what I do now. And there were people that were like god awful at it that had been working there for years. So, but they were getting the bag. They were getting the money, I guess. 40 hours a week, pushing shopping carts and cleaning, and yeah, that's always kind of been weird to me. There was a guy who just cleaned the floors, like he just pushed his Zamboni around. That was all he cleaned. Like, I get that in a grocery store, especially a big one. That's a full-time job right there. But like, we couldn't hire one other person to clean stuff instead of making the like one job that people under 18 can do, clean everything. Like, I had to clean bathrooms all the time. I had to take out all the trash. I had a friend who threw out his back at 17 years old, throwing away trash. Like, that's awful. And it was because other people weren't doing their job. It was because somebody, didn't want to take out a few extra trash cans the day before, so they're super heavy for them. So, like, it sucks, dude. It sucks hurting yourself that much for a company that barely cares about you. That's another thing. I hate when employers like try to guilt people into not going to the doctor. Like, there's another situation recently where a store manager was like talking to somebody who had just filled out an incident report and like hurt themselves and might need to go to the doctor, but like wasn't super serious. So like it's 50-50 on whether they needed to go or not. But I mean, sometimes it's better to go just in case, like, so if you need to be careful, or if you're just, maybe it's in your head. But he was like, it costs Home Depot $10,000 every time you go to the doctor, right? And it was like, shut up. That shouldn't matter right now, dude. There are three people, I think, on the board of this company that are billionaires, and there are maybe a dozen more that are millionaires. Why should I care about $10,000 that it costs the company? Huh? Interesting. Weird. It's not costing you $10,000, dude. Just because you're a slave to the company doesn't mean I should care about its finances, dog. We're doing fine. Doing better each year. Okay? So relax about that, okay? Don't guilt people, because I bet that'll stop some people from going. Terrible. I bet that guilt would stop people from going, though. So that's messed up. They shouldn't do that. Changing topic. I want to get another tattoo. I have two in mind that I want to get, but I know I shouldn't get both. I mean, I kind of want to get both. I want to get 10 tattoos before I turn 20. It's a weird goal that I set for myself for absolutely no reason. But I think I get tattoos of things that I like a little too easy, because I'm still very young. I got a lot of time left. I got a lot of skin left, if you know what I'm saying. And some of the things that I'm getting tattooed, I'm like, yeah, it's really important to me now. But is it? Like, I don't care. I try to get tattoos that, even if they're of something specific, like I have an anime tattoo. I have two anime tattoos, and both of them mean something to me, but they also look cool. Like, I have a One Piece tattoo that looks really cool. It's like American traditional colored kind of style ship, so it could kind of blend in as just a ship tattoo. But also, I don't care. Like, I think it looks dope, and I will probably always think it looks dope. And it's also on the back of my leg. I can't see it. I don't care that much, but I get them a little too easy, dog. Not gonna lie to you guys. Like, having 8 tattoos at 19 is already kind of a lot. I know there's some people around my age that get like full sleeves, and I want one, but I'm waiting a little on that one, because I know that's like a huge commitment, and like that's it, you're done. There's no sleeve cover up you can do unless you're just gonna color it black, which blackout tattoos look so dumb to me. I understand there's some, I don't even know what the main reason people do blackout tattoos is. I think I've heard that it's like a status kind of thing, because it takes a lot of time, and it's just pain because it's just all black shading. But I still don't get it. I think it looks so weird. Like, tattoos are supposed to be like you putting art on your body, and like nobody's gonna frame a black piece of paper and put it up somewhere. Like, that's not a thing. So that part's kind of weird to me. I get it. I think they can look really cool if they're just like, they're kind of small and they incorporate some stuff. But like, people who just get like their whole arm black, I'm like, it's really weird to me. I think I'm gonna get a Spider-Man tattoo. I want to get Carnage tattooed on me. He was always my favorite, villain from any Spider-Man series. I've been watching Spider-Man since I was so young, dude. He's my favorite superhero. He's dope. And he's always funny too, which is like, I kind of like to think that I'm funny. So maybe I'm Spider-Man. Have you ever seen me and him in the same room? That's what I thought. But yeah, I love Spider-Man. Spider-Man movies, for some reason, always come out around my birthday, and I would always see them like as a birthday thing with my family. So it also holds like that kind of impact on me. Like, I think since Spider-Man 3, this Sam Raimi third Spider-Man, I think I've seen every single Spider-Man movie in theaters around my birthday, which is weird to think about, that like that's the one that sticks out with me on my birthday. And I still want to keep doing that. Like, if they do come out around my birthday, I want to keep doing it. But it's so weird that's been the trend, because like summer blockbusters are, my birthday's in summer blockbusters are very common. Shout out to Jaws for doing that. But why Spider-Man? Why was that what I locked onto? Like, I've always liked Spider-Man the animated shows. Even the new one, Drake Bell voices, I think it's Superior Spider-Man on Netflix. That one's really good. Oh, he was an Ultimate Spider-Man, not Superior. Superior is the Iron Spider, right? At least in the comic. God, I cannot spell superior to save my life, dog. Superior. Who would say pure? Oh, pure is not even superior. Huh. What can you do? Spider-Man's dope. Carnage is so sick. Also, the red and black color scheme that Carnage is. I love that American traditional color style. It's so good. That's one of my favorite styles of tattooing. So easy, right? Of course I've got to get it. Yeah. I think I was Spider-Man for Halloween once. I've had some good Halloween costumes now that I think about it. I mean, obviously I was a kid, so I was like Scooby-Doo and a ninja like 6 times. So that's the thing. I'm pretty sure I was Spider-Man at least once. Recently, my girlfriend's so festive. So we always do Halloween costumes, and I never contribute to coming up with it. She always comes up with really good couples ones. Like this past year, we went as the like Super Mario characters that we made, like either in Mario Kart or Mario Party, it's a really cool idea. Like, shout out to her, she's so smart. I mean, this time I actually contributed just because I really wanted to be Waluigi, but I grew out a mustache. Looked awful most of the time. My facial hair does not look good. That reminds me, I need to shave. Speaking of my girlfriend, She hates me, dude. The main reason she hates me is because I only answer the exact specific question that's asked. No further information is given because you didn't ask. If you wanted further information, ask for it. But yeah, that's been a thing my whole life. My whole family does it. I'll ask a question that could be, interpreted as being kind of broad subject, and it's always just a straightforward answer. Yeah, you answer the exact question asked and no more. You give no further information because they didn't ask. Simple as that, okay? Oh my god, the robots are listening. I just got a Spider-Man action figure ad. No shot. I haven't looked at Spider-Man action figures my entire life. Last time I looked at Spider-Man images was on my phone. I use a different browser on my phone than on my computer. No shot. That's terrifying, dog. But my laptop doesn't even have a microphone on it. The only microphone I'm using is this one to record. Oh, good dude. Yuck, dog. Yucky, poo poo. I don't know if I've talked about it before, but I want to switch up the intro and outro music already. What's a good time? When do animes usually switch it up? Like episode 13? Shoot, I gotta start working on it then, because that last one took me a long time to do. Making music is so hard. It's so tough, man. I think it'd be funny, because my girlfriend's blonde, if we went as Jay and Silent Bob for Halloween, and I just never said a word all night. Like, I stuck to it. She's way too, like, happy and upbeat around people to be Jay, though. Jay's an asshole. Why did I Google Jay and expect Jay and Silent Bob to come up and not the bird species? What point am I at in life? Jay and Silent Bob hasn't been resting. Oh god, I can't speak, dog. Jay and Silent Bob hasn't been relevant in like 20 years. When were all those movies came out? I know Clerks came out in the 90s. Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, 2001. Okay. That'd be such a funny costume. I don't really look like Kevin Smith, but at least I have dark hair, so I need to grow out my hair. I'm growing it out now, but it's so curly. I just have a fat afro right now. I'm excited to see what it'll look like, though. My dad grew out his hair not too long ago, and he's got not as curly hair as mine, but it's close. And his looked really good when it was down and longer. So I'm just looking at Jay and Silent Bob on IMDb. What was I talking about? Tiny little peanut brain. Tiny little smooth, unwrinkled, no wrinkle, no thoughts brain. What the fuck was I talking about? Oh, I was talking about Halloween costumes. I've had some good ones. I was a hobo one year. Do you guys remember when people were obsessed with hobos for some reason? Like, the word hobo was like a trend. What was that? That was weird, right? I was only a hobo because I got fingerless gloves, and one of my beanies had a hole in it, so I was like, I could throw being a hobo together. And I think it was around when I started skating, so one of my shoes had holes in them. I was like, hey, yeah, I got a lot of like just tattered clothes. I guess I'll just be a hobo, because it was like that 12, 13 age range where you're like, I'll dress up, but like I don't really want to go out. But like I also don't want to just dress up and sit at home by myself. I don't even remember what I did. I didn't go to a Halloween party until my senior year of high school. And that was a weird night. That was a lot of weird stuff, because my girlfriend and I were long distance at the time, so it's just me and a couple boys, driving around, hitting different parties. I kept getting shut down, going a little too close to the university where they could tell how old we were. They looked at us and they were like, children, get out of my face. But oh god, that was also the fall that like Mo Bamba was still really big, so I heard it like 6 times in one night. Oh my god, worst time in American history right then and there, when Mo Bamba was the #1 song. Oh my god, probably still sing that whole song because I heard it 58 times in the span of 2 months. I don't know why I'm upset about that though, because I listen to songs on repeat. I have like 3 or 4 playlists on my phone that like I'm listening to one all the time, pretty much. I pick one and I'm like, all right, this is what I'm listening to for the next 2 weeks, especially when I'm going to the gym. God, I listen to so much music, because what else are you going to do at the gym? You going to listen to a podcast at the gym? No, that's weird, dog. I'm not going to listen to dudes talk about video games or try to be funny for an hour while I'm, holding 150 pounds above my neck. Okay, that's not what's going on. I'm not trying to crack a smile while, while grinding my teeth together because I can't stand up because there's too much weight on the bar, It's not what I'm trying to do right now. But I'm trying to get built, trying to get sexy, dog. I'm trying to be so sexy, dog. Because I've always been kind of like skinny buff, if that makes any sense. Like, you've heard the term skinny fat. No, think of like skinny buff. Like, I'm not shredded, not buff, but I'm like 60% to like shredded, I'd say. But I'm also like too skinny to just like cut and shred. Like, I need to build up muscle and shred at the same time, and it just doesn't work well. It sucks. I hate what's going on right now with myself, because it's tough. I have to eat a lot, but also not a lot of some things, like I can't eat a lot of carbs because that'll bulk me up too much. But like you need to eat carbs because that's all part of your macros and holy shit stuff. I should record a podcast where the whole time I'm trying to make a podcast intro. Ooh, I wonder what the best way for me to record audio from my computer would be. I know I can do it on like OBS, but then I have to rip it in the video file. That might be a fun YouTube video though, since I'm uploading stuff on YouTube now. You know, I still think I only have one view for myself on the 6 videos that are on YouTube. Yep, 1 view. That's all right though. I'm just trying to get them out there. Get them out there as on as many platforms as possible. Dude, did you guys know Google Podcasts exist? I didn't. I don't think most people do, because that's the one place that I don't get any podcast listens to is Google Podcasts. Apple servers get me a decent bit, especially a lot of apps pull in, like a lot of iPhone apps pull in podcasts from iPhone or from Apple servers, so I get views from those. Shout out to a couple of Reno people that I know listen to it on there. And then Spotify, I think, is where I get the most. But I can't, even the RSS feed that I use to upload the podcast doesn't have great analytics, unless it's not counting what's on Spotify. But it's also different than what the analytics on like Apple Podcast Connect show me, or iTunes Connect, whatever they call it, show me. So it's so weird. I don't know exactly what kind of analytics I'm getting, except for Spotify. I trust those, that those are pretty spot on, if you know what I'm saying. I feel like talking about analytics is only something that like small podcasts do, because like if you're getting tens or hundreds of thousands of views every podcast, you're not worried. You're not worried about, you know, the retention rate of your podcast and stuff like that. Was I not following these guys? Oh god, I haven't said anything in so long. Well, it was good catching up with you guys. I feel like there's something else I wanted to talk about. Oh yeah, so speaking of music, does anybody else have this weird fantasy where you'll be in your car? For me, it's in my car because I don't sing anywhere else in public, but you'll be in your car singing, you know, you're belting it out because that's what you're supposed to do in the car. That's the closest thing you can get to free therapy, is just singing super loud in your car. Does anybody else have this fantasy where you'll be singing and then like a record producer or somebody like that will be like, hey you, what's your name, come here, and they just sign you a record deal on the spot? Was that like a big thing in kids movies? Because I feel like a lot of people subconsciously think that because it was in a movie at one point, but I could not tell you when, couldn't tell you why, where, how. But I think about it all the time. I'll have my windows kind of cracked and I'll be singing and I'm like, yo, I am hitting this. Look, do y'all hear these vocals? Oh my god, who is this? And then I'm like looking around, I'm like, did anybody hear that? Anybody think I'm sexy as hell right now for how I'm singing? Huh? Any takers? No? Okay. Wouldn't that be so sick though? If somebody just signed you on the spot, or they asked me, they're like, was that you singing? I'm like, yeah, that was me. And they're like, oh, you got a beautiful voice. I'm gonna sign you right now. Who do I make the check out to? And you're like, wouldn't that be the best thing? Wouldn't that be the best thing ever? And I'm like, oh, I can also play guitar too. And he's like, okay, I'll add 2 more zeros. And I'm like, oh, cha-ching, dog, ka-chigga, dog. Ooh, call me Lightning McQueen, because that's pretty Kerchow, you know what I'm saying? What was that just now? What happened? What was that? Whose brain came over me? It wasn't my brain. Can't remember the last time I watched that Cars movie. Yeah, I need help. What was that? Okay, well, that was fun. I wish somebody would sign me to a record deal. I want to make music. I would love to be in a band, but I get really shy playing music in front of people. Even when I was coming up for like the intro and outro for this podcast, it was tough to send it to people because I was like, oh, they're just gonna be like, get out of here, dog. This is awful. Pay somebody to do it. You know, young man's is broke and young man's likes to make music, so why not do it myself? I mean, I'm just using free software. Except the new amp I have, I can record directly off of it, which is so cool. I've been having a lot of fun with that. But composing music is so difficult. I cannot believe that one dude did it while he was deaf. Who's that? Was that Beethoven? Yeah, Beethoven. Look at the huge wrinkles on this guy. Ludwig van Beethoven. When you Google Beethoven, 5 images pop up above his name, and he looks like a completely different person in every single one. I wonder what this dude actually looked like. Oh man, dude, I would love to travel back in time with just like my cell phone. It would be tough to not get like burned at the stake for being a witch, but I would love to just travel back because you don't need internet service of any kind to take pictures. I'd love to just hop back in time and take pictures of people just vibing, just doing what they were doing, or like notable people, just like catch them early on. that'd be fun. That'd be a blast. I love to time travel. If anybody has a time machine or knows anybody with a time machine, tell them to hit me up. But I think I'm gonna call it here. I think that's gonna be the end of the podcast. I appreciate every single one of you for listening, sticking with me. Yeah, one of the next couple episodes might have a guest in it, so be on the lookout for that. I'm still not sure how to record with the guests because I just record straight from my mic on Audacity, so I guess they could do that too, but like I don't know how to sync them up. I'll figure it out. I'll have to figure out if I end up having somebody on the podcast. So that was I already forgot, that was episode 8 of an Absolute Unit podcast. Make sure you tell somebody you love them, and I'll see you guys next week. See ya. Let me tell you something. This man right here, this man is an absolute unit.